Alright guys, welcome to day 2 at d1nz. We're about to go out for our first practice. I couldn't get the camera out till now. We've been finishing off the car. If you watched yesterday's video, well, if you haven't already watched yesterday's video, make sure you watch it. Maybe go back and watch it before this one. But basically, when we left yesterday's video, this thing was up in the air, turbo off, manifold off, rack out. It was like in a state. But me and James qualified well in the car. Unfortunately, James's LS car rod knocked, or tried to throw a rod, more so. So we've gone ahead, re-welded the manifold up. The manifold's slightly warped when we're welding it, so it's not really butting up, so we still do have an exhaust leak. We've got the new rack in, seems to be good. We just need to deal with other little issues here and there, but yeah, me and James qualified 6th and 7th in the car. I'm gonna go out and get some practice. To go get some practice in the car now, see if the front end feels all good. Bolting on new tyres. We got only 2 practices this morning, so we just need to go out and make sure the car works. And then I think we'll just park it up and wait for the battles, and hopefully we can do good today, but yeah, we'll get out there and just see what happens. Yeah, James?
Hey?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be.
So if you haven't seen already, guys, it is running the Shibby plates. So yeah. Have you heard of our friend and saviour, Shibby? 4 and look like it, the 5th one's on's good enough.
Should be right.
Yep.
Should be right.
Normally these come with 4 stud when they're NA. It's the same shit,
It's
yeah?
basically NA with the turbo pull.
I was driving it around with 2, yeah, well, well, you're not wrong.
A smart car from 3 stud, eh?
Exactly.
Pretty smart car.
Yep. It's one of the parts of drifting that really sucks. We couldn't get the car finished in time. I don't even know what's going on here. Fanger went out, wiped out our boy in the Supra, and then went out literally 2 seconds before me, and then they let him out, but not me. This is ridiculous. Yeah, at least we got one other practice, but we don't know what the car's gonna do, so this sucks. Yep. All right, so turns out we don't have long at all to go out to the next one, so I stayed in the car. Steering wheel straight. So obviously we chucked another rack in, so we're towing the left side out to suit and see if it all works. Not 100% about everything, but we're gonna just give it an absolute red hot go and see where we're at. The Supra is being fixed. Hopefully he'll have that fixed in time for second practice. We just need to get some laps in this car to make sure this front end's right, because right now it is not right. So yeah, we need it. Always better to go too much. Hey, I missed the throttle! On the left-hander? On the left-hander, I missed the throttle! I was like, yeah, up. practice there, kind of good. Good to drive with my Aussie mate Brody Marr, but he's quite fast. His car's working really well. Our car's definitely not 100%. It's quite funny. On the second run, I actually got caught sleeping. The guy on the start line was sort of dancing around, and I just didn't even notice he'd sent us, and off Brody took off. So we sort of went around and fixed it, did what we could, lads. So we just went ahead and you know, caught up as much as we could, drove in crazy smoke and still caught up by the end of the track, so that was kind of cool. So no, we still definitely got the speed. It's just getting the car on boost, keeping it on boost, and obviously not falling asleep at the start line and letting someone get 8 car lengths away before we even take off. So yeah, James is up next. We're gonna go watch some Pro Sport, might get some clips of Pro Sport and do a little montage on these boys. But yeah, James is in the car next. He'll be battling Brody, who I was just battling or practicing with. So we'll head out. He can head out and do that, and then we're gonna quickly turn the car around and go out for my battle against somebody. I'm trying to think. Oh, that RX-7. So that should be pretty sweet. I haven't actually seen him drive yet. I believe he has a battle, or he has to go to a buy run at least. So we'll see what happens. Guys, it's a few days since the event, d1nz. It's taken me a while to sit down to the computer and try and edit this one because it's just going to be a tough one to edit, but I am halfway through the edit now. I'm about to get into the interesting part. I'm really just going to leave it to you guys. I'm going to throw it over to you. Feel free to comment down in the comments. I'm just going to point out a few of the things that were pretty obvious, but I'll point them out anyway, and let us know what you thought down in the comments below. If you want to support the channel, lukefink.com, and grab yourself some merch.
It is time to welcome back to Aotearoa the grumpy man that is Luke Fink. He's going up against Adam Kaplan. If you want to see insanity, he's about to lead about. He's got supporters across the Tasman, Australia, and they want their man to go, wow, let's see what this suits up. I'm getting through Skyway can do. Jimmy on the front, Jimmy on the Let's see what the FC can do from the front. We've got the R32 and behind. Luke Fink. He's going to start knocking on the door. Well, Luke Fink was a one.
Probably one of the biggest things I want to point out here, in the third left-hander, you probably have to reverse back and have a look yourselves, but on the third left-hander, he cuts the corner, so puts tyre on the inside ripple strip. Judges obviously said not to do that. That was one of the things I really key on. Then he leads 3 wheels. I'll show you that. You'll see that in the TV footage, but you can't see it from my angle. But once you see the TV footage and where the judges had the footage the judges had at their hand, you can see pretty clearly, very clearly, that 3 wheels go off the track. Pops back onto the track, and probably the biggest thing that killed me the most is he was obviously offline. Again, I'm not having a dip at Adam Kaplan. It's, you know what I mean, like, he was doing his best out front and just stuffed up, you know. But he was clearly running wide on the last corner. I'm going to replay this now, but listen out for his engine and watch the tyre smoke on the rear of his car on the last half of the corner where he's completely off throttle, and then you hear, just as I straighten up, he goes whoopah and gets the car going again. So you got to understand that a car that's completely off throttle in an absolute full throttle zone is unchaseable. Like, you cannot chase it. It's a car is decelling massively in a zone they should be under full throttle and accelerating. At this point in the car, in my head, he's 3 wheels off, he's zeroed anyway. I'm just putting a show on for the crowd, wanting to get on door because I know that's what everybody loves, and, you know, get the cool pictures, etc., etc., you know, just cool drift stuff. But as I'm coming up to a door, I realise he's off throttle, so that I'm off throttle on brake and nearly slamming the side of him, and I had the choice. Give it a massive kick in the guts, potentially break the rear end of the car because we're still running a standard Skyline rear end, or just back out of it because he's zeroed anyway. So I've got nothing to worry about. A super clean lead, and he's zeroed in the dirt, so it's all good. Go down, and yeah, anyway, we'll show you this. I want to show you guys this section again so you can just watch the smoke stop. You hear the engine die, and then you hear his engine, you hear him whoop-ah and get back on throttle at the very end of the corner after I've pretty much straightened, because yeah, it is what it is. We'll flip over to that now. So another thing, quick thing to add, that cone on the left side of screen, that's an inner clip. As you can see, he's way off, and at that point in this exact little screenshot here, he's completely dead off throttle in an absolute full throttle zone. So yeah, anyway, we'll go on to the let's go to the TV footage now and have a look at the TV footage.
He's got supporters across the Tasman and Australia, and they want their man to go well. Let's see what this souped up R32 Skyline can do. Sheeby on the front, Sheeby right for Luke Fink.
So Luke Fink there in the JDM Skyline. This is the backup car for the JDM racing team, and big handbrake drag there for him as he slides in. Some good angle through to the final corner, cuts into the bottom for that inside cut. And we shoot to the replay thanks to Dale ITM as Luke Fink, good initiation, fills Adam Campen right there. The proximity great, he loses a little bit of space there. So more angle from Luke Fink, more smoke, and fills the outer zone again nicely. Adam Campen, he's right there, but a great lead run from Luke Fink, grabbing all the clipping points that he needs to. Pretty good chase from Adam Campen as well.
Let's see what the FC can do from the front. We've got the R32 and behind. Luke Fink is going to start knocking on the door.
Wow, Luke Fink was a wide initiation behind Campen. They're trying to keep the line exactly where he needs to be for that. Runs the ripple strip. Oh, big dirt turbo for Campen. Looks like only one wheel off though. So minor deductions there as Luke Fink closes the gap right.
Oh, look at him go. And Luke thinks, oh, he's got his hand out. He's like, come on, you ran me out of space. We got to look at the tail end of that one there. He's happy with what he saw anyway. Let's have a look and see what happened at that point there. So we'll go straight to the replay. Luke Fink sets himself up. Nice, solid run by Adam Camplin. Adam Camplin still on track.
So it was a very interesting initiation from Luke Fink in the chase there. He was right out wide.
As we come through, everything's fine there. Now, massive right rear wheel drop at this point here. What happens here for Luke Fink?
So he drives up, tries to close up that proximity, which he does. He gets past the A-pillar of Camplin. Now, in driver's briefing,
Okay,
they were
so,
saying...
yeah, so far offline.
Yeah,
Camplin.
he was offline, but the chase car is meant to follow the lead car out, yes?
Yeah, but the lead car should be setting a qualifying run. Now, he's so far off at that point there that that's probably what's happening when it comes into Luke Fink. He's like, hang on, I'm following you, but you're not even on your line. So the judges, of course, this season have got their own replay system, I understand.
Ah.
So they're watching one. We should do the same. Okay, what are they looking at?
Yeah, look at that initiation. It's really wide from Fink, but he follows Camplin really well through the first outer zone. A little bit of a correction in behind from Fink there. Good lead run, runs the one wheel. That's where one wheel goes off for Camplin. And then, yeah, just offline, just couldn't get down to
Let's look at the line of Camplin.
Yeah, it's very wide, isn't it?
Camplin's team is saying, stop talking about it, Steve, stop talking about it. Here we go. I can tell you what's happened. We've got a one more time. So we've got Joel Counter and JT say, and then it will... You know what? Let's go up and do exactly what Stephen McIver said. We'll be back shortly. The D1nz.
So this, to me, is sort of the smoking gun. You obviously see this still right here. Dirt on the right front tyre. You look at the slip angle of the car. Clearly, both back wheels are off. But if we go to this next clip, you watch smoke, dust here. Watch the front drop in. Then watch way more dust kick up off the rear of the car, indicating the third wheel going off the track and therefore being a 0. But I feel like they were, yeah.
Luke Fink sets himself into pace and makes his way around the first turn. Big sideways, how aggressive is this switch going to be? Look at Camplin on the door. Again, look how much grip they're getting. The difference between now and when we started 21 years ago is massive.
Seeing this snap, misses the outer clip completely cutting the line. So I never spoke to the judges about it, but I'm assuming the dirt drop maybe had something to do with it. But if you listen to his throttle control on the way into that section, he's not wide open throttle. Judges said you should be full throttle. If you're sort of on and off throttle leading into that outer zone and the chase car is like trying to pin it to you and you sort of slow down, that means I have to brake, which makes the car push wide. Yes, I'm in the chase position, here's the clipping point, blah, blah, but you know, as a lead, you need to be deducted for shaky leads. Like if you miss an outer zone, then pedal it through the next zone where obviously you're meant to be in a zone, then you're obviously meant to be on full throttle. You know, you're not making your lead chaseable. You know, you're mucking around. And again, nothing against Adam. I think he was doing everything he could. But then, yeah, obviously I do drop a tyre. Only a single tyre, 100%, never had an ounce of dirt on the front tyre of my car, nor the other left-hand rear. I made sure of that. And we continue on around the corner.
JDM R32 of Luke Fink sets himself into pace and makes his way around the first turn. Big sideways, how aggressive is this switch going to be? Look at Camplin on the door.
So a nice fill on the outer zone for Luke Fink there. Adam Camplin, he needs to keep the proximity because we know Luke Fink will certainly do that second half of the run. He's washed himself wide. Oh, a big correction on the steering wheel there for Fink as he comes around and misses the inner clip in the final part, but Adam Camplin mimicking his run in the chase there.
Reference there, it's a sort of interesting one from the commentator saying missing the inner clip. So the inner clip there was 1.5 meters off the ripple strip, which I feel pretty confident I was around there. I did make a correction into that last corner, but the car never lost slip angle. Just the car's putting down so much grip, it literally lifts the front tyres off the ground. So, yeah, anyway, I'll continue on with the
steering wheel there for Fink as he comes around and misses the inner clip in the final part, but Adam Camplin mimicking his run in the chase there.
Well, they come through to finish. Back down the straight we go. Let's have a look at the replay. Three-wheeling again.
Yeah, so that JDM Skyline doing all the work up and over the hill, and it's got to be getting hot, especially with Fink and McManaway behind the wheel of that. Look at him as he comes through there, a little bit wide on the inner clip.
And just to reference this one, this is not an inner clip. We were just told to stay off the ripple strip and if anything be mid-track, I believe it was, or just, you know, enough room for the chase car to get in. Was, I believe, the words from the judges. So yeah, you weren't meant to be on the ripple strip at all, and you were leaving room for the chase car. I'm leaving a solid line there for him to be able to be tucked in. So yeah, continue on.
But fills out the outer zone, and then watch the little correction on the steering wheel there. He straightens right up, but it obviously stayed in drift the whole time. Luke Fink doing a good lead run. Adam Camplin, pretty good chase in behind as well. Glad I'm not a judge, well, far from one if anything, but I couldn't put anything between them really. The proximity, if anything, lacked a little bit for Camplin, and we're probably more than likely going to see a lot of that from Luke Fink.
Luke Fink. We know this man here is one of the few Australians that's ever won a round. Of course, Matty Hill did as well. Matty, if you're watching, come on back to the d1nz. Matty Hill's part of the Team Jenkins. This is an OMT one more time as they start plucking gears. Roofing Industries on the side of Adam Camplin's again. Look how much.
Now, obviously here, it's pretty clear to see he's completely missed out of zone 1.
Grip they're getting. The difference between now and when we started 21 years ago is massive. A big switch through the centre section of the track.
And Luke Fink pouring on the angle in behind. He's dropped a wheel, so there's the mistake from Fink in behind.
And if you see here, that white line and the Repco flag back there is actually an outer zone, so he actually didn't bomb out to that outer zone either. Yeah. Other than that, he went around the rest of the last quarter nicely.
Is that going to be the deduction that might, there's the proximity we're looking for, and he closes the gap right up on Camplin. So one wheel off for Fink there through the centre part of the section. We'll go through the replay and check that out thanks to Dale ITM.
Well,
this is another one that's not a biggie, like I dealt with it, but lead cars had to stay right of a line on the run-up, which meant you simply couldn't get to where he's sitting right there. So he did cross quite heavily. Judges said they would have been, I think, deducting that or negating any gap that would have been made there. But still, obviously, if you're told to be in one spot and you're a car length over the other side of the track, that does make things difficult. Anyway.
Solid start by both of these drivers here, but we're going to watch the rear car. Luke Fink out of Australia, out of Brisbane in Australia, and it's the right rear tyre we're looking for now. It's how much of a deduction that is worth. He wasn't there for a long time, but right here, does he gain back the points from how close he was able to throw it onto the door?
Yeah, they come across to finish the line there. Big smoke, big angle. Adam Camplin's happy with that run.
Oh, well, guys, you've just seen what's happened. Can't say I'm surprised by any means. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah, knocked down top 16, so not the greatest start to the season. James is still keen to come back, so we'll come back and at least be at the next round. We'll see what happens after that, though. sort of not worth it if things aren't right in your mind. Yeah, it is what it is. We'll do a bit of a pack up here, and I'll get back to you, Barry.